I'm Ree from mummyof4.com. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing our experience as a family for experiencing COVID for the second time. Now, if you've seen this video, you will know that back in December 2020, as a family, we got COVID. It was considered a mild COVID because none of us needed hospitalization, but I did feel the after effects of that. I was quite poorly at the time, really felt very, very unwell, and all the details are in that video. But it did take me a good while to get over that. Now, obviously at that time I made that video, that incident of COVID, we were all unvaccinated. This time around, myself, my husband and my teenager were all fully vaccinated. In fact, myself and my husband were fully vaccinated and boosted. So it was a different experience for us. So in this video, I'm sharing the exact timeline of everybody's symptoms, when everybody had it. You may be surprised at when the symptoms actually manifested compared to when people were testing, and the gap that we had in between people contracting it within the same household. So I hope you find this helpful. If you are finding this video because you are suffering from COVID at the moment, I hope you feel better very soon. Let me know in the comments how you're doing, how your symptoms have compared to our symptoms both this time and the last time. So right, let's jump back to February when COVID came back to our house for the second time. Poor little Bella, by the end of Zara's birthday yesterday, by bedtime, was just kind of looking a bit sorry for herself, just feeling really sleepy, and had a temperature. So she was up in the night with the temperature, gave her Calpol, gave her ibuprofen, tested the whole family this morning, and guess what? Bella tested positive. So bless her, she's got COVID. Now, so far, the rest of us, the other 5 of us, all tested negative. So as it stands with the rules at the moment, which I don't know about you, I've literally got to check the news, the government websites all the time just to figure out what the law is at the moment. Until the pandemic, I've never in my life checked what the current law is on anything quite as much as I do now. As it stands, because myself and my husband and my teenager now actually are fully vaccinated, and myself and my husband are actually boosted too, we are allowed out as long as we do a lateral flow and we test negative in the morning, and the same for the children because they're unvaccinated, but they're also children. William, Bella, Dylan can go to school. My husband and I can go out, even though obviously I shan't be going far because I have a poorly child at home, and we'll be lateral flowing. Bella needs to start doing lateral flows on day 5, and if she passes day 5 and day 6, she can go back to school. Apparently is the current rule. Bella's health update and COVID update. She's absolutely fine now, aren't you, Bells? You're feeling great now. Basically, she was feeling a bit rough on Wednesday afternoon, and then Thursday morning tested positive. Was rough all day Thursday, but then woke up Friday, sort of absolutely right as rain, really. If it hadn't been for COVID being in existence, so if this had been 2019, then she would have been back to school. I mean, the following day was a Saturday anyway, but she would have been back to school the next day. She's certainly not ill enough to be kept home in a non-COVID time, if that makes sense. So she will be staying home on Monday. We can do a lateral flow on Monday and Tuesday. If she does have a negative lateral flow Monday and Tuesday, she can go to school on Tuesday. The rest of the family have been doing lateral flows every morning, and so far everyone has been negative every day. Haven't bothered to do them on Bella until Monday because there's no point in wasting them, but we will be doing that on Monday and keeping everything crossed that that's negative so she can go back to school and resume normal life. COVID update time. So Bella first. Poor little Bella could have started school today. If she'd tested negative yesterday and today, she could have started today. She could have gone tomorrow if she tested negative today and tomorrow. So far, she's still testing positive. And in fact, today's positive was darker than yesterday's positive. So she's gutted because she feels fine and she's just bored and she just really wants to go to school and see her friends. My husband has been really poorly all day. So he was poorly yesterday, worse if anything today, flu-y, classic flu-y. But of course, we've all been testing every morning and everyone tested negative, including him. So just now, he's like, this is ridiculous. I feel even worse. I'm going to do another test. And straight away, positive. Unmistakable. This morning was definitely not positive. This afternoon was definitely positive. So I'm now thinking, ugh, who next? Because this whole thing is so weird. If you watch my COVID symptoms video, you'll know that I had it in December 2020. Myself and Zara had symptoms, so we got tested. I was positive, she was not. Even though she had more classic COVID than me in that she was coughing, I was just really fluey but without the cough. Then my husband and teenager turned out to have it. They also tested positive, but they were totally asymptomatic. And Zara got tested again because I was convinced it was a false negative. She was negative. Bella was tested. She was negative. Fast forward to now. So all that was before we were vaccinated because the vaccines were on offer. Now I'm triple vaxxed. My husband's triple vaxxed. My teenager's double vaxxed. And my poor husband's got it, even though he was asymptomatic last time. So different strain, I guess. So I've gone from thinking, right, it's only Bella going to get it, to who's going to drop next. And I really can't afford to have it again because I felt so rough last time. And more than anything, it just took me such a long time to get over it. So I can only hope that the vaccine would mean that I don't get it as badly if I do get it again. But then equally, why has my husband got it? And then why is no one else testing positive? And why didn't the children test positive before? And it's all so confusing and it's such a random thing. Why is Bella still testing positive when she's totally asymptomatic now? Her symptoms only lasted 36 hours. So the whole thing, I just don't get it. Quite frankly, I just don't get it. I've just tested again. I'm still negative. So phew. A little bit spun out that my husband's tested positive. I guess all I can think is if he's this ill with the vaccine, he would have been worse without it. So we had good news today because we don't normally like things to be negative, do we? But today Bella's COVID test was negative, which is great news. So we're keeping everything crossed because if she has a negative test in the morning, she can actually go to school. How do you feel about that?
Good.
Yeah, excited to go back. You have been missing your friends, haven't you? Guys, I have really good news. Bella tested negative today, so she could go to school. Really good news. Also means myself and the children, obviously providing everyone else continues to test negative over the weekend, can go out this weekend, which will be good because you were really sick of being stuck in, weren't you? It is the weekend. It is Saturday. Sadly, my husband is still testing positive for COVID. He is on the mend. He's sort of got like a really heavy cold with it now and he's feeling a bit rubbish, but he's not as poorly as he was. But luckily everyone else is testing negative so we can go out. It's such a relief because last weekend everyone else would have technically been allowed out other than Bella, but I just felt really mean going out. By the 14th of February, everyone was feeling much better. My husband was finally testing negative. In fact, everyone was testing negative and we could finally go back to normal. COVID had left the building, or so we thought. So I have a bit of a sore throat starting yesterday, day before yesterday. I did a COVID test yesterday and day before and absolutely fine. William complained a bit of a sore throat yesterday, more so today. So I tested him and bam, honestly, the test line came up before the control line. William is actually fine. He's got a sore throat, but he's not ill, if that makes sense. So if this was a non-COVID world, if this was 2019 and we'd never heard of COVID, I wouldn't be like, oh, I must take you to the doctor, I must keep you off, because he's fine. It seems like a cold. I actually sound more croaky than William and I've tested negative. So I just can't even explain it. I think it's the most bizarre thing because when the household had it the first time, 3 of us didn't get it and obviously no one was vaccinated then because it wasn't a thing. And then last time, 4 of us didn't get it, and this time, I mean, I don't want to comment on this time, so just, I guess, keep watching this vlog. I'll keep vlogging the rest of the week and let you know if anyone else has it. So far, Zara's never had it, and I really don't want it again because I was quite poorly the first time. But I'm just hoping that if I do get it again, I won't be that bad because of the vaccine. So I'm now feeling pretty darn rough, so I'm actually going to come to bed. It's quite early, but I did do another test because I was feeling just gross, like my throat's sore. I don't feel, not like when I had COVID the first time, I don't have a fever and I don't have the aching, like the flu aching. I just feel really washed out and slightly kind of short of breath. I'm coughing and spluttering. So I'm just going to take a night nurse, sleep it off and hope I feel loads better in the morning. I did another test and it was one of those, is that a line? I don't know, so I'm just going to do it in the morning. And if it is, I'll have to isolate. And if not, I'm not going to be going far anyway, let's face it, because William's off. Well, I've woken up feeling pretty darn grim today. I did a test yesterday and it could have been a line, maybe not a line, I don't know. And today's was definitely negative. So I've booked a PCR just to rule it out because it could quite easily just be a heavy cold. You can still get colds. It doesn't have to be COVID. But the fact that Will's got COVID, and that's still technically the rules in Wales, I'm getting the PCR. At least I know where I stand then. I haven't actually been out anyway because I've been in with Will, so I have technically been isolating since Sunday when I first started feeling a bit iffy. So, gonna get the PCR, see what that says. Symptom-wise, I've just got a banging headache, sore throat. I don't have a fever like when I first had COVID. I don't have like all over aches. I just feel run down, mostly headachy, different to a migraine, which is what I get quite a lot when I have periods and things. But just feels like a really heavy cold. So if this isn't COVID and it's a cold, then cool, it'll probably shift quite quickly. If it is COVID, I'm just grateful I don't feel as bad as I did when I had it the first time, but obviously I was unvaccinated then because the vaccine wasn't available. So hopefully the vaccine has done its job and either kept COVID away or kept it having minimal impact compared to how unwell I was last time. I went for my PCR test. Apparently the results are generally taking about 24 hours at the moment, although they do say to allow for 3 days. I sound awful. I haven't spoken that much today, so I haven't kind of listened to my voice. It sounds pretty dreadful, doesn't it? But it does feel like just a really heavy cold as opposed to flu, if that makes sense. I don't have a fever and I'm not aching all over. However, I do feel washed out and kind of like head fog, like I can't really think straight, which is a bit annoying. The good news is the tests came back really, really quickly. I had my PCR test yesterday morning and I had the results yesterday evening. It was a really, really fast turnaround. The not so good news is it is in fact COVID. Symptoms today, the worst one is this brain fog. I talked about this when I talked about when I had COVID the first time. The brain fog, I just can't think straight. I've got this headache, not a migraine like I often get, but just a headache. I feel absolutely just drained more than tired, like someone has sucked out all of my energy. And if I do something as basic as climb the stairs, I'm really out of breath. All that being said, I'm still not as bad as when I had the first time. So I feel rubbish and zonked and zombied, but still no fever, and I don't feel like I'm being stabbed all over. So I'm going to consider that to be a win. Track and Trace have been in touch. Obviously I have to isolate. That's still the law here in Wales, but I had to stay in anyway because Will is off still. He's absolutely fine, just bored really, even if I'm feeling a bit pants. So latest update, Zara tested positive for COVID. I can't quite believe it. I mean, I guess I can believe it. What I can't believe is that we didn't all get it at the same time last month. And instead we had the whole big gap and then got it again. So let me now get this straight. William tested positive first, but I will technically be out of isolation first because my symptoms started before his. Zara's isolation starts from today because her cough started yesterday, so her symptoms started yesterday. It was actually announced yesterday that by, I think, the end of the month, 28th of March in Wales, all this obligatory testing and stuff will be gone anyway. So, symptom update. For me, sore throat, headache, kind of like a heavy head cold. The biggest thing is just feeling like I've got the most brain fog, like I just cannot think straight. I'm being really, really drained of energy. If I walk to the top of the stairs, I'm feeling really short of breath, but I still don't have the fever or the aching all over, which is a blessing. The children are fine. Zara coughed a bit in the night, has barely coughed today, and you can hear them in the background. They are playing, running in and out from the garden. They are positively bouncy. Zara, how you feeling, Zaza?
Good.
See, she's like 1,000,000% fine, aren't you, baby? So,
Bunny.
you want to take Bunny? But if you take Bunny in the garden, she might get dirty and soggy. You sure you want to take her?
But there's a hold on the pram.
You're going to put her in the pram?
Yeah.
Okay, will you be gentle with her?
I will be very, very.
I'm literally just sitting watching them through the window because I don't feel up to running around the garden, but at least they can do that. So I'm really glad that although the children have it, they are fine. But in a normal world, if I didn't have to test them, I would nowhere near be ill enough to actually keep them off school. I'm going to count that as a good thing. I'm just super grateful I'm not as ill as before, but really looking forward to having some energy back. I'm just getting a bit fed up with struggling to just do normal things at the moment. It is day 1,000,000,000,000,000 gazillion of isolation. As it happens, William's been able to go back to school today because he has tested negative for 2 days consecutively, which is amazing. Zara is still home with me doing some colouring and various things while I try and get on with some bits and pieces. I am still testing positive, which is a bit annoying. I know I'm getting lots of messages from people in England going, oh, everything you're talking about seems like a distant memory now because we're well beyond all that testing and isolating and things. But yeah, here in Wales, as of today, it is still the law to follow it all. Symptom-wise today, over the weekend, I was still feeling quite rough, if I'm honest. Today, I would say I am feeling a lot better. My energy levels aren't where I'd like them to be, but definitely a lot better than they were. I'm still like a bit sort of croaky sounding, but not nearly as bad as I was. Just kind of a bit of a thick head, but nothing awful. It's not totally debilitating like it was, which is great. I feel like I'm on the mend. I'm just really ready for my energy levels to be back to normal now, because it's just not fun, is it? It's not fun at all. So it is another day, and Zara is home with mummy again. The good news is she has tested negative this morning, which means she'll probably test negative again tomorrow and we'll be able to go to school, which is lovely, but mummy will miss you. Mwah. I am still testing positive for COVID, which means Wednesday would be my last full day of isolation anyway. I can stop testing and go out on Thursday regardless of the results. So bit irritating, but the good news is I am feeling a lot better. I've still got like a cold, but I'm starting to feel like my energy is returning, which is really, really good. Well guys, I'm out. We're about to leave the house and actually go to school. I'm out of isolation. Hurrah! So after that day, I felt a little just like I had a cold, if I'm honest, like a very low level, slightly less energized than normal, but just a low level cold, really not that bad. And that passed pretty quickly. So compared to when I had COVID the first time, like I discussed in this video, I really felt like I got away with it pretty well. You know, I felt pretty poorly for a couple of days, but then it left and it really felt no worse than a winter bug. And I guess I'm putting that down to vaccination. Could be the fact it's like different strains and whatever, but how I felt when I had COVID that first time and I was unvaccinated and I felt awful and it dragged on and on and on and I really did not feel myself again for at least a month, compared to when I had it this time and how quickly it all passed and how quickly it left and how quickly we went to feeling back to normal. I would say was massive, massive difference. So I hope you found this video helpful. Like I said, if you've clicked on this video because you have COVID at the moment, I hope you feel better very, very soon. Let me know in the comments how long ago you tested positive and how you're doing, how you're feeling, and I hope you feel better very, very soon. There are lots more videos to choose from on screen now, vlogs, organisation, all my usual content that you find on this channel, as well as a video from my Disney channel if you need a bit of cheering up. That may be exactly what you need. See you guys soon. Bye.